10 reasons you miss goals. We've all been there. January 1st, a new notebook, a fresh burst of motivation. You write down your goals: lose weight, make more money, start that side business, get in shape, learn a new skill. You feel unstoppable. But fast forward a few weeks, and that fire has faded. The gym membership collects dust. The business idea never leaves your head. And your list of goals becomes a silent reminder of what you didn't do. If this sounds familiar, it's not because you're lazy, untalented, or not meant to succeed. The truth is, most people fail at their goals because they're approaching them the wrong way. We're told to dream big, and yes, vision matters, but nobody teaches us the structure, the habits, and the mindset required to actually get there. In this video, I'm going to break down the 10 most common reasons people fail at their goals. These are patterns I've seen not only in others, but in myself. Times when I fell short, learned the hard way, and figured out what to do differently. By the end, you'll be able to spot these traps before they sabotage you, and more importantly, you'll know how to design your goals in a way that makes success almost inevitable. So, if you've ever wondered why you keep falling short, and you're ready for the unfiltered truth, stick with me. This might be uncomfortable to hear, but it's the first step to finally breaking the cycle. 1. Your goals are too vague. One of the biggest reasons people fail is that their goals are too unclear. I want to get fit, or I want to make more money, sounds inspiring, but it's not specific enough to guide action. When your goal is vague, you can't measure progress, and you won't know when you've achieved it. Instead, you need clarity. Define what success looks like in measurable terms. I will lose 10 pounds in 3 months by working out 4 times a week, or will increase my monthly income by $1,000 through freelance work. Specific goals act like a GPS. They tell you exactly where to go. Vague goals also fail to inspire sustained action because your brain can't visualize a clear outcome. A concrete target is easier to picture, and that mental image creates motivation. It also allows you to track progress, adjust strategies, and celebrate milestones along the way. If your goal feels overwhelming, break it into smaller, more tangible steps. Get fit becomes walk 8,000 steps daily for 2 weeks. Each mini goal builds momentum and confidence, which fuels you to keep going. Remember, a goal without specifics is just a wish. The more clearly you define it, the more power you give yourself to actually make it happen. 2. You rely on motivation. Alone motivation feels amazing, that initial rush of energy when you decide to start something new. But here's the truth. Motivation is unreliable. It fades the moment things get hard, inconvenient, or boring. If your plan depends on feeling motivated, you're setting yourself up to quit. The solution is to replace motivation with systems and habits. Systems are daily or weekly processes that move you toward your goal, regardless of how you feel. For example, instead of "I'll work out when I feel motivated," your system is "I go to the gym at 7 a.m. every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday." By making the action automatic, you remove the emotional negotiation that kills momentum. You don't wake up and debate whether to do it. You just do it because it's part of your identity. Motivation is like a spark. Habits are the fuel that keep the fire going. The most successful people don't rely on constant inspiration. They build structures that make progress inevitable. If you want to stop failing at goals, stop waiting for motivation. Instead, design your environment, schedule, and routines so the right actions happen almost on autopilot. 3. You don't have a clear why. If you set a goal without a strong personal reason behind it, that goal will crumble the moment things get difficult. Most people say things like, "I want to lose weight," or "I want to make more money," but they never ask themselves why. And when there's no deep reason, the first obstacle that appears, tiredness, stress, temptation, will knock them off track. Your why has to be emotional, not just logical. Logic will tell you that going to the gym is healthy, but emotion is what gets you out of bed at 6 a.m. on a rainy morning. Maybe you want to be able to play with your kids without feeling out of breath. Maybe you want the confidence to walk into a room and feel comfortable in your own skin. Maybe you want the financial freedom to take care of your parents. When your why is strong, discipline becomes easier. Instead of forcing yourself to act, you're pulled forward by something that matters deeply to you. That's why elite athletes often talk about playing for family or representing their hometown. It's bigger than themselves. If you don't know your why, take 20 minutes today and write down every reason you want your goal. Be brutally honest. Then pick the one or two that hit you hardest and put them somewhere you'll see every single day, on your desk, on your phone lock screen, even taped to your bathroom mirror. When the inevitable hard days come, that reminder will be your anchor. Without it, even the best plan will eventually collapse under pressure. 4. You don't track your progress if you can't measure it, you can't manage it, and you certainly can't improve it. Many people set goals, but never track whether they're getting closer. Without feedback, it's almost impossible to know what's working and what's not. This is like driving to an unfamiliar city without checking the road signs or GPS. You could be going in the wrong direction for weeks without realizing it. Tracking your progress gives you data and motivation. Data tells you whether your actions are moving you toward your goal. Motivation comes from seeing visible evidence of improvement, even small wins. If your goal is to save money, keeping a weekly record of your bank balance lets you see growth, which makes you want to keep going. If you're working on fitness, tracking your workouts or weight changes reminds you that your effort is paying off. The key is to keep tracking simple and consistent. Don't build an overly complicated spreadsheet if you know you won't update it. A basic notebook, a simple app, or even a wall calendar with check marks can work. The most important thing is that you can look at it regularly and instantly understand your progress. Also, tracking lets you make informed adjustments. If you've been putting in the work for a month and see no change, you know something about your method needs tweaking. Without tracking, you might think nothing works for me, when in reality, a small change in strategy could make all the difference. Think of your progress log as a scoreboard. In sports, the scoreboard doesn't lie, and it keeps players engaged until the game is over. Apply the same mindset to your goals, and you'll give yourself a constant source of direction and drive. 5. You set unrealistic timelines. One of the fastest ways to sabotage your goals is by expecting results too quickly. Many people start with a burst of enthusiasm and imagine they can transform their body, their business, or their bank account in just a few weeks. When that doesn't happen, they assume the goal is impossible and give up. The problem isn't the goal itself, it's the timeline. Big goals take time. You can't undo years of unhealthy habits in a month, nor can you build a profitable business overnight. Real, lasting change is the result of consistent effort compounded over months and years. The danger of setting a deadline that's too short is twofold. First, you may push yourself so hard that you burn out. Second, you may quit before the natural pace of progress catches up with you. A better approach is to create realistic checkpoints. Instead of saying, "I'll lose 20 pounds in 1 month," aim for 1 to 2 pounds per week. Instead of expecting your business to earn thousands in its first month, set a target for a small number of paying customers and build from there. These realistic milestones keep you motivated because you're seeing achievable wins along the way. They also give you the flexibility to adjust your strategy as you learn. By breaking the larger timeline into smaller stages, you create momentum without overwhelming yourself. Remember, you probably overestimate what you can do in a month, but underestimate what you can do in a year. Shift your mindset to the long game. Progress that lasts is progress that's built to last, and that requires time. 6. You ignore your environment. Your environment either supports your goals or sabotages them, and most people underestimate its power. Willpower is a finite resource. The more you have to fight against constant temptation or distraction, the faster you'll burn out. Imagine trying to eat healthy when your kitchen is stocked with chips, soda, and candy, or attempting to focus on a big project while your desk is piled with clutter and your phone keeps buzzing. The truth is, the easiest way to change your behavior is to change your surroundings. If you want to eat better, stock your fridge with healthy, ready-to-eat foods and remove junk from sight. If you want to read more, place a book on your pillow so you see it before bed. If you want to work out regularly, keep your gym bag by the door so it's the first thing you see when you leave. Environment also includes people. Surround yourself with those who encourage your goals, not those who constantly tempt you back into bad habits. If your friends always want to go out drinking and your goal is to save money and get fit, you might need to limit time with them or suggest alternative activities. Your environment should make the right choice, the easy choice, and the wrong choice. Inconvenient. That might mean setting up a dedicated workspace, turning off non-essential phone notifications, or even rearranging your living space so it aligns with your priorities. The best part? Once your environment is set up to support your goals, you rely far less on willpower. Instead of constantly resisting temptation, you've removed it. And that makes success feel a lot less like a daily battle and more like the natural result of your 7. You don't break goals into actions. One of the most common mistakes people make is treating a big goal like a single task. Start a business, get fit, or write a book are all worthy objectives, but they're far too broad to act on immediately. When you look at a massive goal without breaking it into smaller steps, it feels overwhelming, and overwhelm often leads to procrastination. The solution is to turn your goal into a sequence of clear, actionable steps. For example, start a business might break down into choose a niche, register a domain, set up a basic website, outline an initial product or service, and find your first paying customer. Each of those steps can be broken down further until you have something small enough to complete in a single sitting. These smaller tasks create momentum. Every completed step is a psychological win, proof that you're making progress. That momentum is what keeps you moving forward on days when motivation is low. Without it, your goal remains abstract and you feel stuck, unsure of where to begin. Another key point: focus on the next step, not the entire staircase. Looking too far ahead can create anxiety. Instead, ask yourself, what's the very next action I can take right now? Then do it, and repeat, breaking a big goal into smaller, actionable steps also makes it easier to track your progress and identify where you're stuck. You can see exactly which step needs more attention. Instead of feeling like the entire goal is failing, remember, the path to big results is paved with small, consistent actions. Without breaking your goals down, you're just staring at the mountain instead of taking the first step up. 8. You avoid accountability. When no one knows about your goals, it's much easier to quietly quit. There's no embarrassment, no explaining, and no one to notice you've stopped. That's why accountability is such a powerful force. Having someone or a group who knows what you're working toward creates healthy pressure to follow through. Accountability can take many forms. It could be a workout partner who expects you at the gym 3 times a week. It could be a mentor or coach who checks in on your progress. It could even be a public commitment, like posting regular updates on social media. The point is to add a layer of social responsibility to your personal goal. When you know someone will ask, "Did you do what you said you would?" you think twice before skipping. It's not about shame. It's about creating a supportive structure that keeps you consistent, especially on days when motivation is low. You can take this further by setting clear milestones and sharing them. For example, instead of saying, "I'm going to start running," you could say, "I'm running 5 kilometers without stopping by June 1st. That specificity makes it easier for others to hold you accountable and for you to measure progress. If you don't have someone in your personal life who can do this, Join online communities related to your goal. There are groups for everything, from language learning to budgeting to fitness. Find one where people share wins, challenges, and honest feedback. Remember, going it alone sounds noble, but it's harder. With the right accountability, you'll feel supported, challenged, and far less likely to quit. 9. You don't review and adjust. Many people set a goal and then blindly stick to the same plan, no matter what. The problem? Life changes. Your circumstances, resources, and even priorities will shift over time. If you don't regularly review your progress, you risk staying stuck in a strategy that isn't working or missing opportunities to improve. Reviewing your goals is like checking your GPS on a road trip. You might have started on the right road, but if there's traffic, road closures, or a faster route available, you need to adjust. Without these check-ins, you could be wasting effort going in the wrong direction. A good review system might look like this. Once a week, take 15 to 30 minutes to assess what you accomplished, what challenges came up, and what needs to change. Ask yourself, did my actions bring me closer to the goal? If not, what got in the way? What can I try differently this week? Adjustments don't mean you're giving up. They mean you're improving your odds of success. Small course corrections over time prevent big failures later. For example, if your goal is to grow your YouTube channel and your review shows certain videos get far more engagement, you can double down on that style of content. Without reviewing, you'd keep producing low-performing videos without realizing it. Think of your plan as a living document, not a stone tablet. The goal remains, but the path can evolve. The willingness to review and adapt is one of the clearest differences between people who achieve their goals and those who stay stuck. 10. You give up too soon. One of the harshest truths about goal setting is that most people quit right before they start seeing results. Progress in any area is rarely linear. It's usually slow and invisible at first, then accelerates once enough momentum builds. Unfortunately, that early invisible progress phase is exactly when people lose patience. Think about going to the gym. For the first few weeks, you may not see any physical changes. Your strength might improve slightly, but there's no dramatic transformation in the mirror. Many people take this as a sign it's not working and stop. What they don't realize is that the foundation is being built behind the scenes. Habits are forming, muscles are adapting, and metabolism is changing. The same is true for business, learning a new skill, or building an audience online. The early stage often feels like nothing is happening, but the results are compounding under the surface. Then, one day, the growth becomes visible, but only if you've stuck around long enough to see it. The key is to focus on the process, not just the outcome. If you're doing the right actions consistently, trust that results will come in time. Create small milestones to celebrate so you stay motivated along the way. Remind yourself, quitting guarantees failure. Continuing gives you a chance. And often, success is closer than it seems when you feel like giving up. Final word: achieving your goals isn't about luck or talent. It's about structure, patience, and adaptability. If you've failed in the past, it doesn't mean you're incapable. It means your approach needed refining. The 10 pitfalls we've covered, from vague goals to giving up too soon, are traps that nearly everyone falls into at some point. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is awareness and action. When you clearly define your goal, anchor it to a strong why, break it into manageable steps, track progress, and adjust when needed, you set yourself up for success. Surrounding yourself with supportive people, designing an environment that encourages good habits, and committing to realistic timelines ensure you can sustain effort long enough to see results. Most importantly, remember that discipline beats motivation. Motivation will fluctuate, but habits and systems keep you moving even when you don't feel like it. Every small action you take compounds over time, often in ways you can't see immediately. If you commit to avoiding these 10 mistakes, you'll notice a shift, not just in achieving your current goal, but in the way you approach every challenge in life. Your confidence will grow because you'll have a proven process for turning ideas into reality. Success isn't a sudden leap. It's the result of showing up every day and doing the work. Avoid these pitfalls. Stay consistent, and you'll be amazed at how far you can go.